So we're going to shift energies right now, and I'm going to be working with you on doing mantras. And the mantras, if you can't follow it on this live, you can actually look at my playlist on TikTok under Mantras for Abundance. So mantras for abundance. So first let me start by saying that Sanskrit is a mathematical language. I've said it 100 million times, but it's worth saying again. And Sanskrit is a connection with math, or you could say spiritual math, in the way we would communicate to the one of 1,000 names and one who created us all. And because it is an exact language, Sanskrit is, it is used to code AI and other computers because it's so exact. And so the first mantra is probably the simplest one that I can actually translate. And it is Ahom Prema. You've heard me say Ahom Prema or Aham Prema. I am divine love. And when you say Aham or Ahom Prema to your chakras, spinning your chakras clockwise, it recalibrates whatever you might be dealing with. The trick to recalibrating your chakras is not something that you should get into the habit of doing only when the shit hits the fan. It's something you should be doing every day. Hey Gemma, good to see you. And good, Red Mama Yeti. So we're going to go over some mantras, and Ahom Prema. Again, it is in my playlist on TikTok under Abundance, Mantras for Abundance. It's right there. You have access to it. And when you say Ahom Prema, and again, you know, your monkey mind is going to say, well, why can't I just say I am divine love? Because I'm telling you not to. And you may not like it like that when I say it like that, but let me explain. Sanskrit has got lost vibrational codexes that go beyond Christ code. Because before there was Christ, or Christ code, there was infinite avatars, infinite multi-dimensional, high vibrational souls, and we were part of that actually. Many of our lost tribe members that have never fallen like we fell. And so when you say Ahom Prema, you reactivate a lost language that is a root language to ancient light language. And I'm going to be blunt with you guys. Some light language, some people actually know what the hell they're doing, and some of it feels like they're full of shit. I'm just going to say it, okay? Some people that claim they're doing light language, I know they're full of shit. Light language in the written form looks very similar to cuneiform, which is ancient Sumerian and Babylonian, so the cradle civilization. And while this was being created, there was the hieroglyphs. So, okay, symbols, like a hawk with a half moon, or a half sun rising, or a foot, or the Ankh, things of that nature, right? Anyway, so Sanskrit is probably the purest language on the planet today. Of all the languages that you might hear, Sanskrit is the purest. And why is that true? Well, and then I'm going to go into the mantra, and I want you to say it with me, out loud, okay, with me. And, well, for example, and I'm not sure if this is still happening with England doing their fuckery since COVID, but what I will say is that back in 2016, I remember seeing a documentary on England public and private school systems that were teaching Sanskrit as a mathematical language, as a second language to kids, not Spanish, not French, not Latin, but Sanskrit, because they found that it activates certain sectors of the brain. I don't remember the details, but all I can say is if NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, whether you think they brought the man to the moon or not isn't the question. The question is it works for computers. And because computers are connected to quartz crystal, as you well know, there's something there. So the first one we're going to do together is ahom, or you can do aham. Aham prema. Aham prema. Aham prema. And you would do it to your 9 somatic chakras, turning it clockwise. Typically when I do that, I either do thank you, thank you, thank you, because I've yet to excavate how to say thank you in Sanskrit. But I know that for me, it activates the gratitude gene, if you will. My cellular system starts coming into a place of gratitude. So, but ahom prema, I am divine love. And for you to ascend, part of your challenge is to actually love yourself. You know. Ahom prema. Ahom prema. Aham prema. Aham prema. Ahom prema. Ahom prema. Aham prema. Aham prema. Okay, so that would have been your 9 somatic chakras, turning the chakras clockwise. Second mantra is Om Namah Shivaya. And when I was looking to get my house, to get the letter of approval, blah, 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 I was told I was made to jump hoops and hoops and hoops. And it just, the mortgage banker, a woman, was frustrating the fuck out of me. And I remember feeling so frustrated because first I was approved and I wasn't, this, that, and the other. And so the whole day vacuuming, washing the dishes, whatever the hell I was doing Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. So it's a connection to Shiva and who removes obstacles. And I did it, and something told me to look up a young, brash mortgage banker, and I called him up, and within 12 hours I was approved. Then there was a snag, and then they came up with a solution with their computer. They figured shit out, they moved numbers around, and I had the letter of approval. The Om Namah Shivaya did a couple things. It cleared my fucked up mind. It shut my monkey mind up from despair or saying I'll never accomplish this, and it removed blockages because I literally did it all day long. Another story, and it's all of these stories are true. Our car broke down we were moving to New York after the house was bought, and our car broke down in the middle of Nevada, the state of Nevada. And somehow we were able to find, because I was chanting, my son was chanting, and we found this really cool mechanic, and he was really, really sweet. We had a choice between a mechanic that you might feel more comfortable with, and a mechanic that was a little kooky, a little Back to the Future type of thing, mad professor, Mexican with a light on his eye, a third eye. And the Om Namah Shivaya brought me the right person. But not only that, for $300 cash, he did a job that would cost me $4,000. And he kept calling me saying, are you still on the road? Are you okay? And what we were doing is 12 hours on the road, 14 hours on the road. I can tell you, I assure you, that we were chanting Om Namah Shivaya. 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 So, you can sing-song your mantras, and it's good. The other one that also removes blockages and you want the feminine energy to come in is Om. So it's Om Dum Dum D-U-M Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Durga, right? And that has a resonance to it. Listen to it. Like, I want you to repeat it. Actually, let's go back real quick to Om Namah Shivaya. Did you do that? Did you repeat Om Namah Shivaya? Okay? If you did, okay. So now repeat after me. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. There's something very intense. It's like boots marching, right? Boots marching. Fantastic. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Polly. I'm glad to hear that. So it's Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. And that also removes blockages. Okay? If you feel like you have blockages in your chakras, you can do Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva is connected to the masculine. And if you feel that you need that as your ally, then go with Shiva. If not, go with Durga. The next one we're going to do, people need money, okay? Especially now, especially with the fuckery going on. And one of the ones that is a tried and true one, tried and true, I have another one, but it's really long, and I don't even remember it by heart. But this one is very simple. It starts out with the 4 seed sounds. Shreem, reem, kleem. Shreem, reem, kleem, and I forgot the leem. Shreem, reem, kleem, leem. Okay, so it's Om, Shreem, Kleem, Reem, Lakshmi, Swaha. So you're connecting yourself to Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune. She's, I believe, related to Saraswati, the goddess of art and music. And so it's Om, Shreem, Reem, Kleem, Lakshmi, Swaha. Now, if you're looking for money and you're having a hard time with money, then I would suggest that you say that a minimum of 108 times per day. And to augment the potency of that mantra, you would say it in the shower, in a bath. If you don't have 108 bead mala, then I assure you that if you said it for 3 minutes on the clock, if you said it driving to your destination over and over and over again, and you did it for 45 days, money will come. Thomas Ashley Farron, who I learned this particular mantra from, because I bought his book, Sacred Words of Power, on Audible, because I wanted to learn how to say it. So it's Om Shreem Reem Kleem Lakshmi Swaha. And people have different versions of the Lakshmi mantra. And, eventually I'm going to start teaching classes, but I'm getting a new, my son's gifting me with a new computer. He's so sweet. Eventually I'm going to start teaching classes, but I'm getting a new, my son's gifting me with a new computer. He's so sweet. But I think this shit doesn't work. I've been doing this for over 10 years, these particular mantras, and they fucking work. My problem is I get lazy, or I don't, you know what I mean? But to be blunt, I will just pull out a mantra out of my back pocket just for the hell of it, just to kind of, just to shift energies within myself or what have you. And I'm constantly in connection with my guides, and asking you shall receive and they will come. And I really believe that because I do these mantras, when I say lazy, I mean, I might not do Lakshmi Swaha for 108 times. That's what I mean by lazy. But I will do Om Namah Shivaya or Ahom Prema, maybe a whole hour throughout the day. I kid you not. I will do those. So Om Shreem Reem Kleem Lakshmi Swaha. Okay? That's the one. I'm trying to think of another one. I'm actually trying to think off the top of my head on those mantras. I have some other ones that are very beautiful that are on my TikTok playlist you can check out. And oh yes, I was going to do this one. This one's very beautiful. It's calling in love. Okay? It's calling in love, but it's calling in love for the divine sacred couple. So it's Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. And so did you notice it's Radha, the divine consort of Krishna, but they were saying Krishnaya Namaha. And this is a beautiful mantra calling in the masculine and the feminine in their perfect form. And that one would bring, especially if you are thinking of your beloved, right? Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. You see what I'm saying? So you can play with it and enjoy it and savor it as you would a beautiful truffle chocolate in your mouth, savoring the Om and moving your mouth, you know. Om Radha Krishnaya Namaha. And then you feel it in your heart, your high heart chakra and your heart chakra, because there's a reverberation. And when you close your mouth, Om, Om, there's a vibration in your head, okay, in your skull. And I feel as if it's tripwiring your third eye, you know, the pineal gland. So go ahead and do it with me. Om, Om, Om. You feel it? You should feel it. So mantras are something you bring to life. Mantras is self-care. Mantras is a way to eradicate calcifications in all your chakras, not your pineal, not just your pineal gland, but all your chakras. Your crown, your root chakra. Most of us in this planet have massive obstructions and trash and gunky energy in our root chakra, most of us, okay? We carry a lot of our trauma and pain and the pain of others in our root chakra, sacral chakra, Hara chakra, which fucks up at that point when your foundational system, I mean, imagine building a castle on sand, and essentially that's what that is. You're building, if you're caught, because I've heard, and I mean, I've taught Hindus, okay? I'll have Hindus come to me as clients and say, yeah, I work on my upper chakras. Why? You either go upper chakra, meaning you go from the crown chakra all the way down to your root, or you go from your root chakra all the way to the staircase of your crown chakra, your 9 somatic chakras. And when you want to get really cool, you start going to the earth star, the causal gateway, and so forth. Okay? But for now, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, for now, like fucking master the 9 somatic chakras, okay? And at that point, things will start changing. If you did this kind of work and sat on a tree, you know, up against the tree with your whole spine against the tree will become your ally and will work with you on these energies, because a tree is a sentient being, especially if you're attracted to it and you feel very comfortable and aligned. And as you lean your back up against it, it feels as if they're basically moving into you, like almost like they're embracing you from behind, right? So if you could do that, fantastic. If you can't, oh well, you can sit on the floor. Make sure that when you sit on the floor, you're sitting on, especially outside, on a cotton blanket, a wool blanket, no synthetic bullshit, okay? And if you know you're wearing polyester crap on your body, then make sure you take off your shoes and socks to make sure that your bare feet are connecting. See, that's why I told you to do the back up against the tree. Honestly, try to get rid of all your polyester shit. Rayon, polyester. I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell you. It's time. Just fucking donate that shit, you know? Any questions so far on the chanting of the mantras? The mantra, and I'm going to share this with you, and it may trigger you. It may actually trigger you in the wrong way, and honestly, you need to get over it. One of the great mantras, in fact, the first mantra my beloved ever taught me was the Hare Krishna, and it's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari. Now, when I chanted that in the ocean, right, when I used to swim and run in the ocean in Malibu, I've talked about this many times. This is when I started having incredible visions, and because the ocean was a conduit, it was magnifying this chant, and it was bringing about the veils. My 3D lens was falling away because I was hypnotizing myself under this particular mantra. And I will share a personal truth about it when I do this mantra. I'll do it for like 10-15 minutes using my shaman drum, and I will start tearing up because I actually will start seeing Rama running in the woods with his bow and quiver chasing Sita, and they're laughing and laughing and laughing, and I'm very blessed because I get to see that. My point to you is that when you use Sanskrit mantras, and depending on what you are aligned, you may see your starseed brothers and sisters walking towards you. Recently, in fact today, I was having a really hard time with what's going on in this planet. I mean, a fucking really hard time. And my guide appeared. Not my twin, not my beloved, because that would have added more grief to my grief. And he told him so. He said, no, I'm handling her. She needs me. And he called me by my spiritual name, which I rarely share, and I won't today. But, and that's how I know it's him. And I saw him parting through the veils, and he held me on his lap and basically had me walk into a bath of water, liquid. And in this liquid, I was sparkling. It's almost like everything that was on me was stripped, so that I was like a prismatic quartz of myself, plasmic, and then the colors of myself returned. And he said, we have just recalibrated you. We have just cleaned much of your grief to give you strength for what you're supposed to do. And literally, the absolute anguish I was feeling over what's happening right now, because we know we're going to lose. They're basically going to do what they're doing to the people in Gaza and to other people that are in different parts of the world that are controlled by our various Western governments who don't really give a shit. And I swear to God, the actual breakdown I was having literally stopped. It stopped. And I was literally spiritually cleansed, and I was recalibrated. I mean, literally, it took less than 5 minutes. The entire episode took less than 5 minutes. So why am I being called to share that with you? So that you realize that if this was not true and not healthy, I would have gotten into deeper despair. I would have not been healed so quickly. And why is that important for you to know? To let you know that you have the same power to connect with your guides or what have you. You have the same power. And so I feel as if these mantras are like coding. They're codes that you use to part the many veils. And one day, unbeknownst to you, and suddenly you're facing either visions or downloads or a feeling of extraordinary lightness of being coming out of nowhere, because you're chanting. Because chanting now becomes part of your life. And what I mean by that is you don't chant when shit is bad. You chant every day. You chant whether things are bad, things are good, things are mediocre, whatever. You're fine. You're not excited nor sad. When you chant, you're constantly recalibrating yourself to higher dimensions. Constantly. You're constantly raising yourself up a step, even if it's just a step, closer to the peace you seek. Because ultimately, all of us are not looking for $1 billion. We're looking for peace. And we're not just looking for peace for just ourselves. We're looking for peace for the entire planet. And why? Because peace for ourselves isn't peace unless it is by the way, it's a God-given right. So chanting puts you in a state of absolute surrender, and it shuts down the negative looping of your monkey mind. So when people ask me, well, how long do I chant? Well, for the money, the Om Shrim Rim Klim Lakshmi Swaha, a minimum of 108 times for 45 days. Thomas Ashley Foran talked about the fact that he had just graduated from UCLA. This was in the 60s, and he was broke as fuck. And he started chanting this mantra, and he was offered a job that was not what he wanted. It had nothing to do with what he had graduated for. I forgot exactly the details, but I think it was regarding advertising or something like that in sales, which he didn't want to do sales. But he trusted the universe and took the position. And within, I think it was like less than 3 weeks, he was promoted to the marketing director, which was what he wanted to do. And he made a shitload of money. Because he was chanting Om Shrim Rim Klim Lakshmi Swaha 45 times. And the thing about Om Shrim Rim Klim Lakshmi Swaha, if you fall asleep, if you take a nap, you start from zero. You have to start from zero. So that means that you do it every time you do it. The best thing would be to do it every day at the same time so you don't fuck this up. But if you take a nap in between, let's say you do it every day at 9 p.m., but you've taken a nap at 2 p.m. before you did it, the clock goes all the way back to zero. However, the power of the chant is no less potent. You're still getting massive gifts and benefits from it. It's just that you got to start all over again. And so it's up to you what you're going to do with that, okay? And what else can I tell you? Let me see, anything else that I think. And I'm so glad Gemma and Polly are here. That's good to see you guys. Any questions on the chanting? Any questions whatsoever on chanting the mantra? Anything at all? I can't think of anything else I can tell you. There are chants that are much more complicated. You probably know this. The Gayatri mantra is the most potent chant. It is the chant, the mantra of all mantras. It's known as that. And that particular chant is worth copying and putting on your wall somewhere. It's worth just having, even if all you can pronounce, because it's about one big paragraph. And it would, I don't have it in front of me, by the way, else I'd say it, but it's important to understand it and know it. If you look up Gayatri Mantra, Deva Premal 432 Hertz, you will hear it looping for 8 hours on YouTube. And so, you know, it's a win. Let me see here. Oh my God, I'm so tired suddenly. Yeah, mantras is like very relaxing apparently. I just realized. What else? There's always an asshole in every life. Isn't that amazing? The comments are being... Why don't you keep on scrolling, little boy? I'm sure it's a boy. All right. Let me see here. Let me look at some mantras that are in this book. It's not his book, but it's in the Kali. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, yeah. Dum Durgaye Namaha. Okrim Kaliye Namaha. So, Okrim Kaliye Namaha. It is a mantra to Durga and to Kali. Okay? So if you wanted to destroy blocks, would you consider doing a mantra lives with us where we chant together? Not really, no. Not right now. I'm not in that place mentally. Honestly, I was told to do this, and but I mean, you know, do a live and do it with others. I just, right now, I can't. I'm not in that space to do that. I'm really still dealing with my own healing journey regarding my beloved, just so you know. So that, to me, takes precedent over, because I think I give a lot, and I have to give back to me, to be honest, if that makes sense. So the answer is no for now. That doesn't mean it will be no forever, but no for now. Eventually, when I do more, when I do classes, you know, when I start running classes where we're doing Zoom classes, and obviously that'll come up. It'll have to come up because it's part of the whole ascension, twin flame shit that I went through. And so at that point, of course, I would totally do that. But in terms of that, no. So again, let me repeat. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha, and that's for Durga. And Om Krim Kaliye Namaha for Kali. Okay? Alright, so let me continue. But thank you for asking, Gemma. I mean, because that's not a bad question. Trust me. Alright, and then they continue on. Om Krim Kaliye Namaha. So again, I think she only has a couple mantras. It's funny. She keeps repeating a lot of them. Let me see. Bear with me. But the guy who you want to buy the book, Sacred Words of Power by Thomas Ashley Farran, I think I bought damn near every book he's ever written. I'm not kidding. On Audible and in written form in his books. And okay, so let me look at this one. This one is Om Tariye Soham. And this is for Tara. Green Tara, white Tara, in this case blue Tara. And so it would be Om Tare, Tariye, yeah, Om Tare, Soham. So Tare would be, you know how you have Tara, but it would be Tare, and Soham, Sohm. Soham. Soham. So it's not a ham, though it's spelled with an A. It's hum. Hum. So Om Tare Soham. And I believe this is a prayer. What is it for? To relieve suffering. To give you grace and to give you wisdom. Okay? Let me see what else I can find for you guys. That would be good to look at. But again, Thomas Ashley Farran. Okay, Farran. Hang on. And here's another one. Hang on, okay, let me see this one. Divine Mother, healing, change, and compassionate awakening is needed here. Om, Dom, Dom. Dumarvati Swaha, Jai Ma Kali, Jai, Jai Ma. So again, Divine Mother, healing, change, and compassionate awakening is needed here. Om, Dom, Dom, Durmavahi, Swaha, Jema, Kali, Jema. So, this is from the book, just in case you were wondering. Again, you know this is my favorite oracle deck. It's called the Kali Oracle Deck by Alana Fairchild. Let me give you another one. Golden Mother of Shining Light. What is this for? Place your, hang on. Okay, let me look at this real quick. Om Rim Bugla Mokti Swaha Jema. Hang on, let me see why. Okay, this is a spiritual offering to the Divine Mother. Imagine each bead is now a golden shining sun. Okay, so it's important to invest in a mala. Mala, they're also known as japa beads. They're 108. They're 108. Okay, and you can get them made out of tulsi wood, made out of quartz crystal. Make sure you get them so they're at least, I would say, 9 millimeters, 8.5 to 9 millimeters, 10 millimeters. Get some nice chunky beads. Okay, you can wrap them around your wrist or throw them around your neck. And then when you do a mantra like Ahom Prema, I mean, I told you to do it around your chakras. That's 9 times. It wouldn't be bad to do it 108 times, to be honest. Or do it 3 minutes in the shower. Put it on the clock, and I can guarantee you've gone over 108 times. Let me see what else. I'm looking through this. All my mantra books are like upstairs, and I'm not going to run up there and get them right now. Hang on. Okay. So here's another one. Shamundi Kalima. I bow to your wisdom, your protection, and your love, you who are the Dark Mother and the Queen of the Wild Feminine. I recognize your ferocious devotion when it arises needed. So the mantra would be Shamun Deya Kalima Jai Ma Kali. Shamun Deya Kali Mai Jai Ma Kali. I'm not pronouncing it right because honestly I haven't practiced, but eventually you get the you get the rhythm of the language, and you get the power and potency. Anahata Jai Ma Kali. So when you Jai Ma Kali, is destroying any obstructions in your heart chakra. Okay, hang on. So this is Kurukula. And Kurukula, I love this book. It's fucking awesome. Is to, let me read it to you. It's life. Okay, Kurukula is a shaman folk goddess who was adopted into the spiritual tradition of Hinduism and Buddhism. Kurukula is one of the Kali Nityas, the medicine goddess of the waning moon cycle, a powerful sorceress, enchantress, and conqueror of enemies. Hers is the realm of magnetism and charisma, spell crafting, and the power of attraction. So her mantra is Om Kurukula Shri Soham Om Tare Tam Swaham Om Kurukule Shrim Soham Om Tare Tam Swaha. It's interesting what it does, doesn't it? Like, it's interesting what it does to your mindset. It's very similar, in my opinion, to listening to the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. I don't know if you've ever heard the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic, but there's something about these ancient languages that were closer to our starseed origins than the words we use today. Don't you agree? I think so. Hang on, let me see if I find anything else. Dharma of Kali. Come of Kali. Hang on, I'm looking for any other mantras. Here's the one. Okay, so this one, hang on. So, bear with me. Kama is a Sanskrit word that refers to the sweet stuff of life. Kama. Pleasure, Kama Sutra, Kama Sutra. Okay, Kama. Pleasure, emotional fulfillment, and being completely present so we can experience life through all the senses. So it is also sensuality and physical vibrancy. Without the quality of Kama, our experiences of life can become dry, bleak, and intimidating. A joyless existence with simply more tasks to be completed. If we are feeling exhausted, lacking in the qualities of delight and lightness of heart, then we have become deficient in Kama. Sacred pleasure. In the realm of the goddess, the enjoyment of life is a sacred act of devotion, gratitude, and celebration. Well, there goes Christian coalition bullshit. No guilt. Enjoy pleasure. Okay, so let me send that to you, tell you what this is. It goes Om Krim Kali Ye Namaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Ye Namaha. This would be a good one, actually, for just general pleasure and general fun and abundance of love, health, and wealth. Okay, so let's say it again. So it's Om Krim. Remember, Om Shrim Rim Klim Lakshmi Swaha. But listen, it's Om Krim Kali Ye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmi Ye Namaha. That's good. It's something you might want to consider. So again, Om Krim Kali Ye Namaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Ye Namaha. Can you say it with me? So let's do it again. Okay, do it with me, okay? So slowly. Om Krim Kali Ye Namaha. Om Shrim Maha Lakshmi Ye Namaha. Very cool. So these are some of the things. I honestly, anything else? I just want to make sure I've gone through. I think I've gone through almost damn near. When you were ready, say the following. So, Reem, 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 Cream. So they're called the seed sound. So I think it's Reem, Kleem, Shreem, Reem, Kleem, okay. Om, Shreem, Reem, Kleem, Lakshmi, Swaha. Om, Shreem, Reem, Kleem. Okay, those are the 4 seed sounds. So it's Om, Shreem, Reem, Kleem. Okay. Leem, and there's also Leem if you want to, but I think they all they encompass, they call in all of the powers of actualization. So when you chant, like, it's best not to be depressed, but if you chant, right, because you're depressed, right, just know that the storm is being lifted out of you. So if you're crying saying ahom prema, ahom prema, ahom prema, just realize that, you are going through a purging of your grief, okay? Love that chant. I got you. So I don't have my drum here, but the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Om Radha Krishna Ye Namaha, Om Radha Krishna Ye Namaha, Om Radha Krishna Ye Namaha. So honestly, if you work on your chants, you'll start actually spending maybe 10-15 minutes, not every day, but here and there. It would be good. But if you're sitting down and really enjoying your chanting session with yourself, it's going to give you a boost and a boon to your soul. But you can chant while you're doing the laundry. You can chant while you're driving to your destination. You can chant when you're about to lose your shit. You can chant at any point. But one of the ones that I do, like I told you before, is I chant with my shaman drum. And I will close my eyes, and I will lean the drum against my ear. And I will just play with the tonal, wavelength of my throat chakra. I'll play with the Om. I'll play with the Om. Om. That's what chanting's for. It's to literally annihilate the monkey mind and to go into a state of self-hypnotic trance. That's the purpose of chanting. And once you're able to do that, you're able to get into the business of articulating in your journal what you want to manifest, visualizing the new earth, visualizing your healing, working on chakras are blocked, realizing that if you can't see colors when you close your eyes on your third eye, there is a problem. And I just assumed people knew that, but apparently they don't. I didn't know that. But if you put it, like I have a couple crystals I put on my third eye while I'm in meditation, and sometimes I get the explosions of violets and turquoise and gold and prismatic, right? More of a clear. It depends. It really depends. But whatever happens, make sure that when you're working on your chakras, even if you can't visualize them at first, that you visualize them being clear and bright, right? So if the thought comes to you that you've got a gray, dirty chakra, then trust me, you probably do. And at that point, you need to rotate it clockwise until it no longer feels to you that it is. I'm not concerned with what the colors of your chakras, okay? The red, the this, the that, I don't care. What I care about is that they're clean, clear, and bright, and hopefully shining. If your root chakra looks turquoise and teal to you, as long as it's clear and bright, we're good. Because what was true during Kali Yuga will no longer be true as we ascend into Satya Yuga. Do you understand? Just like the chakras of the planets that were given to us in the 1970s, they're no longer the same. Some of the chakras are still, like for example, like England being the heart chakra of the planet. Yes, that's still true, but there are certain chakras that have moved. They've moved into other locations of the planet, and that is something that makes sense. How the fuck are we going to go from 3D to 5D is if all the chakras are still in the 5D reality of the planet? You see what I'm saying? Doesn't that make sense? Right? It's just like at 5 years old you were Sherry, but now at 45 years old you're kind of a different Sherry. Things have migrated to other places in your mind, in your heart, in your desires, in your dreams. Because you've evolved. And the planet is evolving. And it's evolving very fast. And for those of you that are suffering from depression, if you chanted every day, in spite of your depression, if you sat in your shower and let the shower run and hit your crown chakra, and you kept chanting and chanting and chanting, you would find that suddenly the tsunamis of emotion would end. It would fucking end. And they would end, and it would shock you. It would shock you out of your mood. You'd go, wait, hang on, I'm not feeling sad anymore. What the hell just happened? It would shock you right into a new consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So you have a choice. You were given the gift of free will. And in the free will, you self-advocate, you self-care, you self-heal, or you don't. You can chant, or you don't have to. But what I'm hoping is that what I've shared with you is going to give you a path to your self-care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the vibration touches the chakras. It's really good to see you all, actually. Anyone that's new here, let me know. What is the best mantra for depression, or isn't there one? The best mantra for depression, I would say, is Dum Durgaye Namaha. Dum Durgaye Namaha. Because it's a battle. And Durga's coming in to eradicate this voice that sinks us into the despair of depression. And then I would go right into, and I would shift. Ahom Prema. Ahom Prema. Ahom Prema. I would do a lot of root chakra work, I would spend a little more time on the root, going into, the three foundational chakras, right? Root, sacral, and hara, belly button, right? And then I would go into, solar plexus, let's do it. But then I go into the heart chakra and spend time on the high heart and go to the heart chakra and high heart. Then I go into the throat chakra. And this is where chanting out loud helps, because the depression has multiple phases. And one of the phases of depression is silence. True clinical depression, the real clinical depression, is unable to speak. Unable to hear sounds, music, voices. It's a complete shutdown. And so when you start working on the sounds of self-love, Ahom Prema, I am divine love, out loud, as loud as you can, Ahom Prema, Ahom Prema, Ahom Prema, Ahom Prema. When you do that, what happens is you are reclaiming yourself. And yourself is not in this body. Yourself is a multidimensional light being. Yourself realizes that this is a temporary incarnation. You've had fucking millions of them, and this is no more important than any other incarnation. In fact, the only importance that you have in this incarnation is that this time you're not going to be a match to 3D ever fucking again. That's the only importance to this egoic framework. Whether you're a white woman, a black man, an Asian man, or white man. It is a temporary gender. It is this temporary classification used by 3D people to give you the illusion that this is all you've ever been, all you'll ever be, and all you'll ever experience. And it's all illusion. And so when you work on your throat chakra, you surround yourself with a most authentic self, because you're speaking the ancient tongues of your ancestors. And remember, just like people in Europe speak 3 or 4 languages, we as starseeds spoke 3 or 4 languages. And it's very possible that Sanskrit is a lowered version of what we spoke on as Lyrans, as Pleiadians, as Syrians, Arcturians, whatever, right? Andromedans. And it reminds us of home. And the problem with religion, and that's a problem, with any religion, is they connect it to Hinduism, which, okay, yes, of course it's connected. It's an ancient, dead language from the Hindu people, yes, of course. But it is the last language. Unlike like Egyptian, ancient Egyptian, honestly, fuck, does anybody know what they were saying? I know that we have scholars who speak the ancient Greek, and we're assuming they know what they're doing. We're assuming, as linguists, as ancient scholars, reproducing these sounds, and Aramaic being one, Latin being just a foundational language for, you guys know, all languages, right? All Western languages. But like, for example, Phoenician, Mesopotamian, we don't know, do we? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never heard it. But I've heard ancient Greek spoken, and it doesn't sound, and it could be that the voices of these scholars isn't the right voice. You know what I mean? They have like an accent, okay, they probably do, but it's not the right voice. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem. So it doesn't have the frequency healing, but for some reason Sanskrit, it doesn't have the frequency healing, but for some reason Sanskrit, questions on why chanting Sanskrit and not translating it into English is important. Any questions on that and its value? Any questions? Any comments? Any mantras that you really love? Okay, so that's it then. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to thank you. I will upload this on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. And I will talk about some of the issues with twins soon. Again, soon. With the masculine. There are things that are coming up that, again, I'm always surprised at how very similar many of our experiences are. But ultimately, what I can leave you with in these experiences that you're having, so that you don't feel alone. Sorry, that's my cat. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Hang on. Yes. One beloved will always be advanced. Or 5 steps ahead. Always. It's a pattern. What makes you a twin ray, a ray, not a flame, is the flames are burning karma, the rays are in their light. It's that simple. It's real. And that means that both of them are in equal step with each other. And they are in divine, and they're both very aware of the sacred union. That's one of the signs of being a twin ray, or a divine consort, or an eternal consort. Okay? But the mantras are extremely important to your ascension journey. And when I was 18, my beloved gave me a mala, 108 beads, a mantra, and the vegetarian life path. That was for me, right? And so give yourself, go and find a mala of 108 beads on Etsy, or try to find something that really speaks to you, and make it yours. I mean, I've had malas since I was 18. And I've always had them wrapped, double, triple, quadruple wrapped around my wrist. I've had them around my neck. I've had bastard jobs, just like you. And these malas helped me, they reminded me that this job, this moment in my life did not define my true sense of who I was and my value. That in truth, these malas reminded me of who I was, and reminded me to have faith in the journey, and reminded me to stay true to my path, to follow the path of the heart. You know? And I've never not had a mantra. Never. Okay? And so I really want you to invest in one. You can get them for $15, $20. Again, Etsy, eBay, and your local metaphysical stores and so forth. I got a mala a bit ago, but I need to be disciplined in using it. Great. All right, wonderful. All right. Yes, it does sound like a battle cry. The Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Yes, it does. That's why it's so potent, especially when you're going through massive depression. It's because you're crying. I remember because I was dealing with massive depression, and years ago, like 20 years ago, something like, actually no, more like 25 years ago, and I remember one of the other things that I started doing. It's fucking pandemonium here. Was power walking, sweating, just sweating, power walking, and that would recalibrate me. And then also, chanting while I was power walking. So hopefully this little class helped you. And I gotta go because my cat's going insane. It's very whenever my son leaves, he starts crying. He's very codependent. Anyway, much love on your journey. I'll upload this on YouTube. Namaste, be well.